And good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for being with us. We appreciate our news media partners for being with us for this Hurricane Idalia update. With details of said update will be, of course, Orange County Mayor Jerry Demings. Then we will have Chief Laura Lee Avery for Emergency Operations. Then Orange County Sheriff John Mina is here with us today. Scott Howard, the Executive Director of Communications for Orange County Public Schools. And then Dr. Robert Karch from the Florida Department of Health in Orange County. They will speak in that order, and we will take your questions afterwards. We will begin, of course, with the mayor. Mayor?
All right. Thank you, Dr. Williamson. As we begin today, let me just thank you, the media, for your wide coverage of the storm throughout these past few days. It has been very, very helpful to us getting information out to our residents. I also want to acknowledge our family and friends who may live in the Big Bend area of our state and other areas who have been more significantly impacted than we have been impacted here within Orange County. Certainly our prayers and our thoughts go out to those communities who are still wrestling with this storm. In many regards, the storm has been more devastating for some of our North Florida residents than perhaps here. But what I want to do today is just go over with you some of what has happened in the last 24 hours or so here within Orange County. And so we'll share a lot of information with you towards the end. We will ask for any questions that may come in Spanish, and we have the ability to translate, and then we'll open it up for any Q&A at that time. All in all, Orange County has fared very well. There are no storm-related deaths or major injuries being reported at this time. We also have no major damages being reported within our community at this time. That does not mean, however, that there are not some individuals who incurred minor damage. We have been under a tropical storm warning now for the last 24 hours or so. However, the National Weather Service just moved Orange County to a wind advisory until the squalls are expected to subside here within Orange County. So that's good news. We've been moved down at this point. In parts of Orange County, wind gusts are continued to be expected to exceed the 25 or 35 mile per hour for the next few hours, but there's also a possibility that we could have even higher wind gusts. The Weather Service reports that most of the county here within Orange received somewhere between 1.5 and 2.5 inches of rain, which is pretty good. That's a typical storm that we have to deal with. So as a result of that, we really didn't have any flooding or any of that within our county. Our public works personnel tells us that no streets or roadways were flooded, and there were no downed power lines reported to us. We had only one large tree reported down in the Conway area. And when we talk about impacts on our electric utilities, our utility partners, OUC, is reporting there were 28 outages, which is really very, very low. Duke Energy reports that at one point, perhaps at the height of the storm, there were 500 plus outages, but they are now down to 200 or fewer outages at this time, and that number is changing quickly. Of the 740 different traffic signals that we have in Orange County, in unincorporated Orange County that is, only 9 had any damage, which means that our traffic signals are functioning very well at this time. Our Orange County Fire Rescue Department has done yeoman's work in the last 24 hours. Fire rescue personnel were out this morning rechecking on all of the nursing homes that were visited pre-storm, and they have gone back to those assisted living facilities to make sure that they all have power and that they are all doing well. It should also be noted that 30 Orange County Fire Rescue Department members will be deployed to the Tampa area as part of the state's Urban Search and Rescue Task Force 4. They will be charged with helping with the search and recovery efforts in areas greatly affected by Hurricane Idalia. The 120 team members of Task Force 4 not only includes those first responders from Orange County Fire Rescue, but also from the Seminole County Fire Rescue Department, the Orlando Fire Department, as well as 9 other Central Florida fire departments, and structural engineers will be deployed with the team, and K-9 handlers and medical doctors will be deployed with Task Force 4. FEMA deploys Task Force 4 through the state fire marshal's office, and so we know that that team is going to just do great work, life-saving work to assist others here within the state of Florida. Orange County's 2 general population shelters closed this morning. A total of 151 residents stayed at the 2 shelters that we opened. It should be noted that 90% of the people in the shelters were homeless individuals. So that is something that was important to our entire community, that we wanted to make certain that those who were homeless had a place to go and get out of harm's way as the storm passed through our community. We are working with the Homeless Services Network to relocate those individuals for assistance where we can. Shelter managers tell us that all operations ran smoothly and residents were grateful they had a safe and secure place to ride out the storm. Our 2 special needs shelters are in the process of closing. The Florida Department of Health assists with managing our special needs shelters, and this is where many of their staff and 19 clients stayed overnight. Most of those persons who stayed at our special needs shelters were elderly individuals. For those who were housed prior to the storm, before being transported home, our shelter managers make certain that there is power at their homes before they return. We are thankful to have a partnership with Links. Access Links helps to drive these individuals with special needs back to their homes. We want to thank Links for that partnership. It's an important part of what we do as a community. Between the 4 locations, 24 pets were there with these individuals. For Orange County, unincorporated Orange County, let me talk a little bit about solid waste. As you all know, that because of the storm, we suspended the pickup of garbage or waste from curbside today. That service will resume tomorrow. I do want to report that for those who missed their pickup today, Saturday will be the makeup day for customers who did not receive curbside service. Again, the makeup day for residents in unincorporated Orange County with Wednesday curbside garbage recycling, large item and yard waste collection is this Saturday, September the 2nd. Those with Wednesday services should follow regular curbside guidelines and place materials out at their curb beginning at 6 a.m. on Saturday morning. The Orange County landfill and the transfer stations will reopen for normal business tomorrow under regular operating hours. Now I'll shift and talk a little bit about our parks and recreation. All parks and recreation facilities were assessed this morning for storm damage to see if they are safe to reopen to the public tomorrow. I'm happy to report that we got good inspection reports this morning, and therefore our county campgrounds and boat ramps will open tomorrow at 08 a.m. To find the latest information on Orange County storm response, we will direct you to our webpage that is specifically set up for storm information. That webpage is ocfl.net/Idalia. Want to also mention a few other key things before I turn it over to the next speaker. Orange County government will reopen for normal business tomorrow. That means that for our staff or employees who may be listening to this, that means that our expectation is that you come back to work beginning at your normal shifts beginning at essentially at midnight tonight. That begins our workday tomorrow. So for the team of our county employees who worked, who slept here at the Emergency Operations Center over the last few hours, I'll just have to say thank you to the team for being responsive to the needs of our community. Orange County Head Start will reopen along with the Orange County Public Schools tomorrow. That means that at our facilities, our after-school programs will also resume tomorrow. The Orlando International Airport and the Orlando Executive Airport has reported to us that they have remained open throughout the storm, and so that's good news if you have flights. Our Lynx bus system has returned to normal operations. So if you are one of those individuals who depends on public transit for your major mode of transportation, Lynx is now under normal operations. Sunrail, however, the commuter rail system here within our community, will not return to normal operations until Friday. They will begin their normal services on Friday morning. And so with that, at this time, before I step off, let me just also recognize my colleagues from the Orange County Board of County Commission. We have Commissioner Uribe, who has joined me, and Commissioner Michael Scott. For the Spanish-speaking media, if there are any questions in Spanish thereafter, save up all the hard questions for Commissioner Uribe. She'll be able to translate in Spanish, and Commissioner Scott will be available for one-on-ones. Let me turn it over now to Orange County Sheriff John Mina. At this time, we're going to ask the sheriff to come up and give you an update, and switching the order slightly.
Well, good afternoon, and thank you, Mayor. At the Orange County Sheriff's Office, our team at our Emergency Operations Center monitored things throughout the night. Our deputies were out there during the storm to ensure that they were keeping our community safe. Luckily, based on the path of the storm, as was mentioned, we didn't see any major impacts to Orange County. There were no significant storm-related law enforcement incidents that happened here in Orange County. Again, our deputies were out there assessing just minor damage, some downed trees. As was stated, traffic is flowing normally. All the traffic signals are up and working. So what we're doing at the Sheriff's Office, we're in constant communication with areas throughout the state, up in the Big Bend and other areas that may need assistance for their sheriff's offices up there. So we have a team of 40 personnel and equipment that is ready to go should that need come. We do think that that will come here soon. I think this is just a good reminder and actually a good practice because we're still right in the middle of hurricane season. We have a ways to go, so make sure you have a hurricane plan. Make sure you're listening to the authorities. Make sure you're tuned in to our wonderful news media, and make sure you have all the supplies you need because unfortunately I'm sure we're going to have to deal with this again before the season is over. And just know that the Orange County Sheriff's Office is here for you. Our school resource officers will be reporting to their schools tomorrow. We did have deputies staged at all the shelters, and there were no significant issues at any of the shelters involving law enforcement. And as always, if you need the Sheriff's Office here in Orange County, call either 911 if it's emergency or our non-emergency number. Thank you. I'm going to turn it over to Chief Avery at this time.
All right, thank you. All right, thank you. So we have weathered this storm, and as Sheriff Mina said, we can never be prepared enough. So this is a good test run to make sure that for the next storm, and I'm sure there will be one, hurricane season does not end until November 30th. So we've got a long way to go. So really right now, I want to thank our news partners. We were up all night watching every station, and each of you are so important. You all have a different aspect of the storm and where we're at. So really appreciative that we were able to monitor all your channels all night long and make sure that we were prepared for any reports that we were getting. But I especially want to talk about my emergency operations staff and all of the partners that supported us. And not every one of them were here. When we talk about homeless services, they're supporting us also with sheltering, or sheriff's office out doing, taking care of our shelters, our public works. We have so many partners that come together. Our emergency operations center, our primary responsibility is for coordination, and information comes in and information comes out so that we are better prepared to respond to any emergency in Orange County. We'll continue to keep our partners up in the Panhandle and keep in touch with them to see if they need any support. But I know they have been severely impacted, so we're staying on track with keeping up with all of that. But I'll leave you with Orange County. A prepared community is a strong community, and we're not done with hurricane season yet. So stay engaged, stay prepared, and we'll be ready for the next one. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Scott Howe, Orange County Public Schools.
Thank you, Chief Avery, and good afternoon, everyone. We hope everyone made it through the storm safely. Certainly, our thoughts at Orange County Public Schools are with those impacted by Hurricane Idalia in the Big Bend area of North Florida. We are very thankful that our schools and facilities avoided any major impacts. All school and district offices will return to normal operations tomorrow, Thursday, August 31st. All after-school activities will resume tomorrow as well. Due to the adjustment in our instructional minutes for this year, students will not have to make up the lost day due to Hurricane Idalia. I know all of our students will be happy to hear that. So they're tuning in, they're clapping right now, I'm sure. A decision on makeup days for our 10 and 11-month employees will be forthcoming. We appreciate all of our employees who assisted in preparing for the storm and helped with the assessments this morning and the cleanup today, throughout the day today. We do look forward to our students and employees returning tomorrow, and we truly appreciate the patience from our families and employees over the past several days as we've had to make these decisions. I want to thank the media, our media partners, for helping to get Orange County Public Schools information out to our community, and we appreciate that partnership and getting the message through. Now I would like to turn it over to Dr. Karsh, Florida Department of Health in Orange County.
Thank you, Scott. Good afternoon. The Florida Department of Health, in partnership with Orange County Government and Orange County Health Services, staffed 2 special needs shelters, serving a total of 19 special needs clients. And as Mayor Deming said, home safety is ensured prior to discharge from the special needs centers. I just want to take this opportunity to thank all the staff from Orange County Health Services, as well as all of my colleagues at the Florida Department of Health for all of their hard work in serving some of Orange County's most vulnerable at these special needs shelters. I also want to take this opportunity to remind citizens of Central Florida to drain standing water around their homes in order to prevent mosquito breeding and to prevent mosquito-borne illnesses that often happen after a storm like this. It's important to drain and cover any area of collected rainwater. Drain and cover. More information can be obtained at our website at www.orange.floridahealth.gov. That's www.orange.floridahealth.gov. And the Florida Department of Health will be open regular hours starting tomorrow. Mayor Demons?
All right, thank you, Dr. Karsh. Dr. Karsh is a medical doctor, and he is a great partner, one of the great partners we have with the state of Florida. At this time, we're opening up for any questions. Just as a reminder, in Spanish-speaking media, if you have questions for me or the team, I will ask one of my special assistants, Idalia Torres, to come up and do the translation. And then again, we'll be available for any one-on-ones at the end. We'll open it up for any questions at this time. Steve Hudak.
Mr. Mayor, Laura Lee addressed this a little bit, but whenever we have a great buildup about this coming storm, and then it turns out to be a dud, it has an effect on people like me and my neighbors. And go, oh, like you guys always overblow this thing. What do you have to say to people like me?
Well, storms are unpredictable, and what I would say to anyone, always treat them that they're serious. We always plan for the worst, we hope for the best, and while we may have been less impacted by the storm than some other areas, that storm could have turned and we would have been more impacted. So we have to always plan for the worst. That's what our team does here. So it's a great opportunity. There's no substitute in life for training or experience. The team that we have together is well trained, but when there's a storm, whenever there's a deployment, there's an opportunity to gain experience that makes us better for the next time. And so I count our blessings in that regard, that we are better prepared for the future because we have now gone through this experience. All right, other questions? All right, muchas gracias.